Hi, this is Neil from PowerSyncPro, and today I'm going to do a quick preview demo of a new feature that's coming out in January 2024, which is our remote DC agent. So within the DirSync service, what you normally have is you need direct line of sight to get to your DCs. So if I put in a computer here and try and connect, as such, you'll see there are no remote agents listed here. Go save. This is historically what you would do. You would have the DirSync server in the same location, more or less, or your network would be opened up to all of the different companies that you require access to perform synchronization services. Now, what happens is if this is not the case, so if I put in something into my host file to stop connectivity to the DC, create again, put the details here, then hopefully this time it should fail. And in that circumstance, you may not have opened up your GWAN, or simply you don't want any connectivity to that particular domain or that particular customer. So instead, what we've developed is a remote DC agent where you can put an agent into the DMZ or some other server, and all it needs is line of sight over the internet to this particular box. So what I've got here also is my another computer, which does have line of sight to the DC that I want to get to. As you can see by the top here, this is called wizarding. And if I try and install my remote agent, the first thing it asks for is a pre-shared key. Now, there are two different types of pre-shared keys. There's one in the migration agent, which is a permanent one because you're using it to install the migration agent on tens of thousands of machines, and that will reconfigure Outlook, Teams, OneDrive, and domain disjoin from Entra or Azure AD to make the devices cloud only. But we don't need that pre-shared key in this sense. For security reasons, we have a one-time pre-shared key just for the DC that we're connecting to. So if I just generate it, and I actually put in the name of the computer that I'm going to be hosting the remote agent. And if I put that in there like this, and I'm just going to copy the pre-shared key, save, put that into there. One other thing I need to generate is a certificate. So this, once the pre-shared key is used, we will then utilize this certificate going forward for secure communication between the PowerSyncPro server as well as the server where the remote agent is sat on. I need to put in the URL to get to my PowerSyncPro server, and this is the one, and it can be done over the internet or however you wish. Next, put in the username for the service account on this computer. And luckily, the credentials that are installed on here will be, or saved on here, will be the ones that, or the credentials that the service is running will be encrypted under that service. So I'm just going to run the configuration tool here, and here it is. Now, if I come back to my PSP server and refresh the screen on the pre-shared key, you'll notice that is now disappeared. So it's a one-time use. So no one could try and connect to your environment anymore. But if I go to sync agents, you'll notice that now this particular agent has appeared. And there's one further additional piece of work that I need to do. I need to approve this server. So there's a lot of belt and braces here to be able to make sure that this is doing what it needs to do. So I'm just going to go approve there. Are you sure? Yes. So we're all set up. Now, if I go back into directories and go active directory and do remote agents, you'll notice that that server has now come up. However, I don't have any domains listed. This is because I have not configured any domains. So what I'll do I'll just go back to here and I'll add my the domain that I was trying to put in earlier, and I'll put in what was it, PSP. Now I'll just quickly test the connection. Connection successful. Apply changes. Save. Now that should then configure the communication between these two servers to say that it's registered that particular domain. Now what you'll notice is that I haven't put the credentials into the PSP server. The credentials remain on the server in the DMZ and nowhere near our PSP server. So you have complete control over the credentials. If I go back in and I go add to the active directory, the remote agent, and hopefully smidgen.uk is now there. And like I did before, which now failed, if we put enable all of these, refresh schema, should now work. Now it does take a little while longer because what happens is it's got to create a connection to the server. So these two servers are communicating periodically, but once that connection is made, there we have it. And if we look at the host file, that's still in place. I don't have connectivity to that server, so what's happened is we're now going through this server as, essentially like a proxy. There we go.